Hi. So I wanted to talk about what's the difference between making agreements and living up to other people's expectations. I think that's a very valid point. And how I see it is that when we make agreements, we actually consciously make a choice with another person or a group of people. And agreements, in in my experience and opinion, are first like talked about and negotiated, and there's a space to express feelings and then agree or disagree to the agreements another person is proposing, or propose your own agreements. And the way we do agreements in Reiko Honesty is that, for example, in workshops we agree to confidentiality or telling the truth, and people can at any point to tell if they don't want to agree anymore, and then we have a pros and conversation around that, or if they have not kept the agreement. So the agreements are not about agreeing to perfection. However, for me, agreements are like, I agree to be in this way with you, and you can count on my word, you can count on me in this way, and this is the way you agree to be with me. Whereas living up to somebody's expectation is like, oh, you want me to be in this way, rather than, hey, let's have a conversation, what we are willing to agree and not to agree to. And many times also I experience that people's expectations are not expressed clearly. Like, what could be an example? Like getting angry or grumpy when the other one in a relationship doesn't go to sleep the same time you do, and still not saying clearly, this is my expectation of you. Are you willing to do that? And give the other person a choice. Yeah. So for me, it's kind of very different way of being when there is a conversation, there's a process, and then making agreements, and then somebody kind of giving the expectation without asking or checking with me if I'm willing to say yes or no. And I think we all have expectations to other people. We have expectations of people um, who are close to us to listen to us. We have expectations of friends and partners to spend time with us, to spend time in a certain way or a certain amount of that, to share important stuff, what is important to them, or to be there for us when we're sad or angry or anxious or lost or something. So we all have expectations, and I think when it comes tricky is when we don't say them out loud, when we don't own them, or we withhold from the other people that I don't actually want to live up to this certain expectation or checking in. I imagine you have an expectation of me eating dinner with you every day. Is that correct? And then have a conversation. So also just being very clear about what we want and don't want, what we imagine the other person wants if it's not been talked about, and then checking in with them. Many times we assume all kinds of things. And then of course there's commitments that are kind of deal breakers, like if we have very different idea of some things. I think for romantic relationships, things like will we have kids or not? Are we going to live together or not? Shall we get married or not? Is this exclusive relationship where we don't have other sexual partners, or we are open to other sexual partners? And if we're open to other sexual partners, how we deal with that? Like, do we discuss first before entering other engagements, or do we inform after the fact? Like, what are the agreements we'll have between us? So here's some of my thoughts about the difference between living up to somebody's expectations and making commitments or agreements. And yeah, I think whatever happens, it's important to check what happens in your body and then share with the other person your thoughts and feelings around it. All right. Let me know if you have more questions. Ciao.